How's everyone today? Who do we got here? We got Night Watcher. It says 20 minutes later. Outrageous. Jacob says full support. Thank you for that, Jacob. Yeah, I'm a little late. A few things that I was working on. I actually taught a pranayama, breath work um, class to a new friend. It was very nice. You hear my cat saying hello to you guys? So, I'm going to chat for an hour, see what comes up, see who comes in, talk about whatever. Yep, Night Watcher, sometimes life gets in the way of my YouTube habits. Hard to imagine that there is a life for me outside of YouTube. Here was my goal with YouTube was not to, a lot of people say things along the lines of keeping them separate. You keep your, real life separate from your online life. That you keep your YouTube, um, YouTube's not real life or something like that. Which I understand those sentiments. I agree with in a way. At the same time, it's all just life. There's no such thing as, well, this is my real life. This isn't my real life. I am exactly as I am. Going on YouTube and talking is an extension of my everyday life. It's not separate. It's not different. It's just an extension. If you have an objective, let's say your objective is to teach only love. Remember in A Course in Miracles, they say we teach what we most need to learn. We are all teachers. But what are we teaching? Are we teaching, are we demonstrating the opposite of love? Are we teaching or demonstrating grievances, resentment, judgment? Or are we teaching love? We teach what we most need to receive. Let's see. Hey, Easy, how are you, my friend? Jacob says, hey to Easy. Skid says, hey, Eric, I joined 2 times, but I gave up. But it gave me no ads, so I left it and joined a 3rd time to watch, and an ad. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Every ad adds up. No pun intended. Hope you're okay, brother. I'm doing pretty good, Skits. Just mentioned, I just taught a breathwork class to a new friend that I've met in the 5 a.m. Live streams who lives in Rome. She's an American who lives in Rome. And it's always fun to teach. It's always fun to teach the things that I love. But it's also more important just making those connections. You teach someone breath work and they have a tool to be more kind, to be more open, to be more giving, to be more relaxed, to extend love all the more. So you really, it's all a demonstration of love. Skid says, hi chat. I hope you're all having a great day. So far, it's been a pretty good day. Skits, how about you? Any new songs in the work? Who do we else have here? Let's see. Cure says, hello. Do you have cancer? I do not have cancer. I had skin cancer 2 years ago. Big Boy Rex says, hi. Hey, Rex. How are you, my friend? Skits says, that's beautiful to hear, Eric. Thank you, Skits. Let's see. Easy says, hey, Eric, I have a question. Any advice for trying to share the message of love and forgiveness to religious people? My future father-in-law is Muslim, and he doesn't quite get it. The best way to share is to demonstrate. Don't have to say a word. You don't have to say, do this, do A, do B, do C, do D, and you'll be happy and fulfilled. Demonstrate it. Extend love to your future in-law. Extend forgiveness quietly with great, great humbleness. And watch how things change. Remember, in A Course in Miracles, it always says, turn things around. If you are perceiving unforgiveness, if you are perceiving anything that doesn't seem like love, it's your perception. It's not theirs. It's always yours. Whenever you notice that your perception is not aligned with absolute love, with absolute forgiveness, then it means it's time for you to practice love, to practice forgiveness. As Ramana Maharshi said when he was asked, how do we treat others? And he smiled and said, there are no others. None. Or as, don't get upset, Night Watcher, as Mother Teresa said when she was asked, how do you show up? How do you show up at the hospital treating kids starving, horrific diseases, leprosy, missing limbs, and you show up every single day, hour upon hour upon hour, and you're always loving, you're always compassionate? How do you do it? And she said, I simply see Christ in all of his many distressing disguises. Imagine if we could reach that point where we see Christ, the loving presence. Remember, we can view Christ as an energy that is within. Imagine if we could see Christ in every single person, because Christ exists not just within every single person, but as every single person. So if you view your father-in-law as Christ, if you view your mother-in-law, your neighbors, those who push your buttons, they're all doing your service. They're teaching you how to teach. And we always teach by demonstration. We don't need a single word. The Buddha gave his most powerful sermon completely silent. Didn't say a word. And then he held out a flower. One person in an audience of thousands smiled and accepted the flower and became enlightened. One within thousands. Not a single word was spoken. It's all we need to do. Silently, invisibly offer your father-in-law that flower. Be the Buddha. Be the Christ. Let's see. Jacob says, no, he doesn't. Cure. Thank you, Jacob. Cure says, glad you're well now. Well, thanks. I appreciate that, Cure. Cure says, I am the cure. I thought you were the law. Judge Dredd. Does anyone remember the movie Judge Dredd? I know I'm probably the oldest guy. Undoubtedly, I'm the oldest guy here. Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, I am the law. Let's see. Big Boy Rex says, good. How about you? I'm doing good, Rex. It's been a good day. Skip says, my day was good. I went to my well-being group, caught up with some chores, and did a workout. Man, that's a good day. How's your workouts going? Hey, Poor Man. Poor Man says, what's up, Yogi? Everyone? Not much, Poor Man. Hey, Poor Man, you ever do get-ups? Have you ever tried doing sandbag get-ups? It would be a bear with 200 pounds on your chest. Jacob says, we're the poor man's gym with a wave. Jack says, hey, buddy, can you tell me what to take for my diarrhea? I got it coming out my tailpipe. Well, that's where you want it to come out. You want it to come out through the tailpipe. Some people might recommend charcoal caps. My advice, hydrate, stay near a bathroom. It'll run its course. You could take over-the-counter medication, but every medication has a counter effect. When you need it, you need it. Don't hesitate. But if you can just let it run its course, stay hydrated, stay near the bathroom. I know that was probably a facetious question, but someone might actually be experiencing that now, and they stumble upon my channel and they think, hey, that's what I need to do. So I appreciate you asking. Jacob says, hope you don't have to work tomorrow morning for the Poor Man's Gym. Are you guys going to collab? Man, that's going to be a big collab if you do. Hey, Austin. That would be an earth-shaking collab. Hey, Jacob. You should think about getting a sandbag and doing a sandbag collab with Poor Man's Gym, as well as maybe Runner Boy. So how you doing, Austin? Jacob says, hey, brother Austin. Poor Man says, should be good. Someone else calls in sick, I'll have to go in. Uh-oh. I smell something big going on, man. Jacob drops the link for Austin as well as Poor Man. Austin says, thanks, Jacob. Hey, Austin, how's everything going in South Carolina? Jacob, how's everything going with you in South Carolina? Poor Man says, Jacob, did you say your shoulder's been bothering you? And Austin says, did anyone get the hurricane? It was so bad. We haven't, but Jacob might have. Jacob says, let's get you to 700 subscribers, brother Austin. That would be awesome, Jacob. We can do it. Where's Austin now? Let me check. $603. Hunter Foster says, my name is Phineas. I don't think there's an us at the end. Fortunately, I can just go by your channel name and call you Hunter. So I went on YouTube earlier today, Googling up South Park episodes with Phil Collins in it, so I could actually hear how to pronounce Lollapalooza, because I know that's not how to pronounce it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I need a video of someone actually saying it correctly to help me with this. Hey, Sue. Sue, you got some great scroll shots today? Or was that from yesterday? Jacob says, yes, a little bit. Poor Man's Gym. Poor Man's been talking about shoulder health the last couple times hanging out. Jacob says, I did. So, hey, is everything okay, Jacob? Trent says, Eric, I'm on my McCarty till I-65. So you're going to be 65 soon, Trent? How soon? And happy early birthday. Let's see. Poor Man says, man, I tried Turkish get-ups once. I think I was going to do them correctly. I think if I was going to do them correctly, it would take a lot of practice. It does take a little bit of practice. It's a great exercise. One of my favorites. Definitely helping me regain some overall body strength. Not that it was obviously completely lost doing burpees. Burpees are a great way of strengthening, but burpees aren't an ultimate strength exercise. I think you do need some type of weight, preferably something that puts the weight overhead. And what I like about the get-ups is you start in a static position. So you're saving a whole lot of wear and tear on the shoulders, but you got a lot of time under tension. It takes about 8 seconds or so, maybe longer, to do a full get-up. So that's 8 seconds of your entire body under tension. Shoulders, triceps, because you're gripping biceps, your lats, your lower back, your hips, glutes, quads, hamstrings, and even the calves all experience 100% tension at some time during that rep. William's walking dog. Welcome, William. Skeeter says, everyone cheers Yogi brother. Hey, Skeeter, my friend, how are you? Jacob says, let's see. I don't want to miss anyone. Mintu says, Mintu Krishnan. Hello, sir. How are you? Mintu, my friend, I'm good. How about you? Austin says, Yogi, how are you doing today? Austin, I'm doing really well. I appreciate you asking. Hey, VOM, my friend, how are you? Jacob says, I got hit hard by that hurricane. It was bad, and there's still a lot of people without power. Yeah, I was thinking about you, Jacob, when it swept through there. Hope you and your family are safe. Austin, I hope you and your family are safe. Austin says, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Sue says, sorry to hear that, Jacob. Mother Nature, what can you do? Yeah. Good question. What can you do? You can't outrun Mother Nature, that's for sure. Poor man says, Jacob doesn't need a sandbag. Just find a rock. A rock works, that's for sure. William says, hello. Skeeter, you going live later today? This evening? Also says, I'm doing good. Finally, we just got power back on last night. I'm glad. I'm glad that you got your power back and that you and your family are safe. Skeeter says, yes. Awesome. How was everything last night? Were they biting? Cam says, where are you from? I was born in Pennsylvania. I grew up in Maryland. I live almost in the middle between DC and Baltimore. East Coast of the US. Sue says, yesterday, thanks. I've gotten a lot of great squirrel shots myself. They're so amazing to watch this time of year because they're always amazing to watch. But in the fall, they're actively trying to put on a little weight. They're collecting nuts. They're a little more hectic, a little more gymnastically than they normally are. Jacob says, Western North Carolina got hit hard too. Must have been a strong storm because sometimes, just going up in that Western North Carolina, the mountains will soften the blow. VOM says, hello, host and chat. Hello, my friend. How are you? William said, how long would studying meditation take? Learning meditation will take about 3 days. And a lifetime of practice, if that makes sense. The good thing is, as I mentioned before, the practice is the thing. Suzuki Roshi, the Zen master, said, Zazen, which means meditation, is enlightenment, meaning the practice itself is the awakening experience that we're looking for. And there's no bad meditation. So if you're meditating and you're having a constant barrage of thoughts, Thoughts during meditation are simply stress being relieved. Stress being relieved. If you fall asleep, it's because you managed to relax yourself so much during meditation that you got some much needed rest. If you're thinking the mantra, you're on point. The mantra is a vibration of silence, so you can't go wrong thinking the mantra. And if you slip into the gap, that sacred pause in between every thought, you've had a taste of samadhi, bliss consciousness. I could probably shorten it down into one class. I hope my meditation instructor, my teaching instructor, didn't hear me say that. I think we could do it in one class. Ramana Maharishi Yogi might be, or I'm sorry, Maharishi Yogi. Maharishi Ramesh Yogi might be rolling in his grave if you heard me say that. I honestly think you can teach meditation as long as you remain a source for people asking questions. You don't want to just send them out, now you got it, go out and practice. Poor man says, I know it's kind of boring, but the resistant band and dumbbell workout really helps stabilizing the shoulder for high rep burpees. Been doing some negative push-ups too, just trying different stuff. I love resistant bands. I've been using one quite a bit recently. I got my Lifeline band. I need to get some more cables for it. Bands are underrated. Hey, whatever your opinion of Tom Brady is, no one can deny his longevity at the top of the game. He largely gave up weightlifting for resistant band training because, as he said, he only needs to be strong enough to throw the ball a certain distance with enough force to get it there. But he needs to be resilient. He needs to be able to take a hit, or he needed to be able to take a hit and get back up and throw the ball again. Bands kept his strength where he needed it to be and gave him the resiliency to take those hits. Jacob says, everyone is doing fine. Been cleaning up debris the last 4 days. I'm glad everyone's doing fine, Jacob. Man, that would be a workout by itself, just cleaning up all that stuff. Sakita says, I will be live tonight around 7 Eastern Standard Time. Pennsylvania time, catfishing. Guys, I hope you check out Skeeter. I hope you subscribe to his channel by now. He's a good guy, great channel. Mr. Skeeter, Mrs. Skeeter. You get to hang out in Pennsylvania with some good people. How can you beat that? I've spent years hanging out with my family in Pennsylvania, and I love every minute of it. When I was 15, I actually quit school down here to go live in Pennsylvania. Started out for the summer, and then I decided to go to school there because I just wanted to be with my family in the mountains in Pennsylvania. It's just too beautiful. I wasn't ready to leave after summer. Unfortunately, I got kicked out of another school. I've been generally kicked out of every high school I've ever been in. You might ask why. And if you do ask why, I'll tell you. But if you don't ask why, I'm not going to tell anyone. Let's see. VOM says, hello, Skeeter, and yes, prayers. Thank you, VOM. Thank you so much. Poor man says, doing the arm circles for high reps helps too. Hold it in each direction, small and big circles. I do that as well, but not for 100 reps. Maybe I need to up my mobility game. Skeeter waves at everyone. Skeeter says, yes, sir. We got some links dropped. Pennsylvania Wild Boys. I love that name. And Jacob drops a link as well. Thank you, Jacob. Hey, Flower. Flower says, I wonder if Michael is okay. That's random. You know what, Flower? It's random, but I expect nothing less from you. It's also extremely kind and compassionate, and I expect nothing less from you either about that. bet you who he is. Andre says, man, I love your bald head. Greetings from Germany. Thank you, Andre. I appreciate hearing that. If my baldness can please one person, make them smile, make them happy, it's worth it. It's even worth risking someone sneaking up behind me with a slice of cheese and slapping me on the back of the head. I will take that great risk just to make one person happy. So we got some links dropped. Flower says hi. Jacob says, hey, Sister Flower. Rose says, sweet. I would love to start. All right. How's tomorrow sound, Jacob? Or I'm sorry, William. How's tomorrow sound? I will send you a message on what I will need. Because we're doing mantra meditation. And you want your personalized mantra. Your own primordial sound that corresponds to the vibrational pattern of energy that was existing the moment you were born. Still existing. And when you think your mantra, you bring yourself back into that vibratory rate. The vibration was what brought you from the unmanifest to the manifest, from the infinite to the finite, from spirit into the mundane. When you use the mantra, you are returning to that vibratory state of the unmanifest, of the infinite, and the spirit. Let me know if I missed any comments. Poor Man says, bicycle tires work great for resistant bands. I like wrapping them around a solid object and using it like a cable machine. That's good thinking. I will have to compare the price of a bicycle tire and the price of an extra set of bands. Flower says hi to Sue. Just When Sue connected to Skeeter. Hey, Skeeter, Just When Sue is a Pennsylvania wild girl. She's a Susquehanna girl. Susquehanna lady. Pancake says, like done. Thank you, Pancake. How you doing, my friend? Pancake says, much love, brother. Thank you. Much appreciated. Pancake's another great connection, guys. It's got a channel devoted to positivity, just putting out positive energy. Jacob says, just sub to Brother Skeeter. Thank you, Jacob. Love Our Toy Pops says, hi. Good morning, can't stay. We realize we have a broken device. Love you, host. Love you, chat. We'll see you guys when we get our device fixed. Well, I appreciate you stopping by and saying hi. I'm sorry to hear about the device. It was great catching you live earlier this morning. Hey, Brian. Hey, Nightmare, how are you? Get a salute from Nightmare. See, Gamer Rock says, hello there. Hey, Gamer, how are you? All right, William says, sure. Hey, Sheena. My food addiction says, good morning. And Jacob immediately drops her link because that's the kind of friend that Jacob is. You know what? If you show up here, even the first time, you are immediately Jacob's friend. He will do what he can to help you. That's the type of person Jacob is. I'm really happy, man. I'm really fortunate. I get an entire room full of people here who are like Jacob, who just want to connect. They just want to help. They just want to have a good, positive conversation. Easy says, I will keep spreading these virtues. I have no doubt that you will, Easy. Buddha. Buddha says, hey, Yogi, just going to pull up, run into the kitchen to get lunch. How you doing? How you feeling? We get hashtag Buddha love. Austin says, Jacob is awesome. Yeah, he is, Austin, that's for sure. Jacob drops Buddha's link. Buddha and Austin say hi to each other. Hey, you see the way I got both those comments in one? Buddha and Austin say hi to each other. Didn't have to read two of them. Got it in one. And of course, all the time that I saved by doing it in one, I blew by having this conversation, giving you this explanation, having this conversation. I need to learn to cut my losses. How you doing, Brian? Hey, Brian, thanks for sharing that link. I do like Darius Rucker, and I love the song Wagon Wheel. You know, that was originally written, a version of it was written by Bob Dylan. Poor man says, Brian Lane, what's up, brother? Buddha says, I'm good, sir. When I went from 3 times a day to 1 times a day, my meds. So that's working well for you? Laboratory Pup says, hey, food addiction. Hey, guys, I hope you swing by and give my food addiction, Sheena, some support and some love. She's on a journey, an important journey, the most important journey that we can do. She is reclaiming her health. Here's what you find when you start reclaiming your physical health is you're also reclaiming your spiritual health, your emotional health. You see that they're one thing. You can't be healthy and leave off emotional health. You can't be healthy and leave off spiritual health. They are one and one thing only. And speaking of positive messages, by the way, Love Our Toy Pups has some of the most fun and loving live streams that you can join. If you get the opportunity, if you see her go live, jump in. If you're fortunate, I don't want to make promises because it would be presumptuous of me to make a promise. But what I could say is maybe if you're fortunate, you might, and you show up on a live stream, you might get a song from Love Our Toy Pups. You might get a personalized introduction. Welcome to my live stream song. VOM says hi to Buddha. Buddha says, I hit assault my vision. That's awesome, Buddha. I'm glad to hear that. Let's see. Buddha says, I don't see Brian. I heard you say it, Yogi. Yep, he was up above. Came in and said hi. I don't think he said, well, he said hi, and if he said hi to Jacob, then he's been a bit quiet. Hey, Ginger. Yo, send him a muff in the house. Sup, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Ginger? How you doing, my friend? Hey, Ginger, have you hung out with Skeeter yet? I know you connected yesterday or the day before. Buddha says, and your pet is free and her lump is gone. Wish Buddha was still here then, but she is awesome. Buddha says Voms with all the Z's. Jacob drops the link for Ginger. Let's see. Buddha says, hey, VOM, that's my sister. She's awesome and supportive. She has visited quite a few times, and you're right. She is awesome, and she's always been supportive. She sent out some prayers for the people in South Carolina and North Carolina, which is always an awesome thing to do. Skeeta says, awesome community we have going on with these positive vibes. Absolutely. And I'm always happy, Skeeter, when we get to expand it in both directions. When we get people here showing up to support you guys, and you guys coming here to support us. It's just, you're absolutely right, Skeeter. It's an awesome thing to do. You know what? The nature, the outdoor channels, there's nothing more peaceful. There's nothing more positive than being out in nature and catching those vibes. Everyone's relaxed. They're out there enjoying themselves whether they catch something or not. Catching something's a bonus. It was funny on Bob's live stream today. He's like, I'm doing Eric a favor. The reason why I'm not catching anything is because he's a vegan, and I don't think anyone believed him, but it was a funny thing to say. Buddha said he might be working. Yeah, he might be. Buddha says, yes, sir. When I meditate, I see colors crystal clear. See, Ginger says, what's up, Buddha? Skeeter, I didn't miss your live. Buddha says, no problem, Ginger. I haven't gone live, my friend. Skeeter's waving at Buddha. Nightmare says, the fact you don't get any trolls in here baffles me. Oh, we do. It's a good thing, but every stream usually gets a bunch of them. We get some. We just generally roll with the punches. You know what I mean? I honestly don't see any of them as trolls. It's opportunity. They're teaching me something. If my buttons are being pushed, is it the fault of the person who is pushing the buttons, seemingly so, or is the responsibility on me because they're my buttons? So anyone who comes in gives me an opportunity to examine, where am I? Am I in that reactive state where anyone can come in here and call me bald and get me all worked up? Or am I in that responsive state where I can just laugh about it? Because, you know, I'm bald. No one's going to, no one, I'm 59 years old. No one's going to come in here and say something about me that I haven't heard 1,000 times before. And if you can, man, more power to you. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. I love hearing original stuff. Here's my favorite comment. He hasn't been in here for a while. He came in and says, hey, you look like the Spider-Man. You look like the Peter Parker who wasn't bitten by the spider. Meaning just a regular guy. Ginger says, I lost track of time. I'm doing measurements on my truck build. How's that going? Buddha says, Buddha passed away. She was my previous puppy Rottweiler. I'm sorry to hear that, Buddha. My last two dogs passed away 2018, 2019, and I have not been able to bring myself to get another dog. I do have, a loner dog, Mocha's dog. Ginger says, I did watch his channel. Nice. Buddha says, I know. She's in North Carolina, and that's what VOM is all about. And I'm thankful I met her. Hey, Buddha, I'm thankful that I met her too. And you know what? I met her through you. I met all kinds of great people through you. Most importantly, I met you. Scooter says, very awesome support. Goes both ways, my friend, and I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Hey, Odom. How you doing? Odom put out a prayer and a song for the people who were hit hard by the hurricane as well. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. Buddha says, Jacob. Ginger says, sorry, guys. I'm just here to make your face hurt from smiling. You do a good job of it, and you did it right from the start. And as a matter of fact, your first time coming in, you had all of us laughing. It was nothing but muffin jokes the entirety of the live stream. Buddha says, don't worry about it, Nightmare. Don't let those lost ones bother you. They're just people who are lost. That's true, Buddha. Nicely said. We can reinterpret every attack as a cry for help. So if someone's crying for help, what do? Do we help them by offering love, offering forgiveness, or do we attack back, which just puts us in that same pattern that they're in? That's two people crying for help and no one actually helping the other. Skeeta says, my cousin's so crazy. I go to the river. It's like a family reunion. That's that Pennsylvania family. Man, I got tons of cousins up in Pennsylvania. Literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. My father's family dates back to Sullivan County to the early 1700s. And it was three brothers that came over from Ireland. And they had, each three of those brothers had big families. So there's three branches of us, three branches of McCarty's. My dad said the only reason he really moved was that so we could date someone who wasn't related to us. Because the saying is, you can't shake a stick without hitting a McCarty. Buddha says, hey to Odom's Homestead. Skeeter says, I'll be live tonight, brother. So, hey, 7 p.m., guys. Make sure you hang out with Skeeter and Mrs. Skeeter, and at the very least, if you're able, stop by, hit the like button, say hi, cheer out the channel. If you got extra time, hang out, wish them luck. And in reference to what, Ginger? Buddha says, laughing, says true. It helps the chat go on. The trolls, let me at them. But we get a few from time to time. 90% of them just want to have fun. 10%, let's say 9% of that remaining 10 won't have fun no matter what. They just want to be mean. And then you got 1% who have some type of an agenda. Skeeter says, I'm a nighttime catfishing guy. Hey, when do they bite best, Skeeter? Austin says, how's everyone doing today? Odom says, love catfish. Hey, Odom, do you do any fishing yourself? I know that you do a bit of hunting. I don't know if you've ever talked about fishing before. Skeeter, Odom's in Tennessee. He's got a great homesteading gardening channel. Buddha says, let them talk. Until outline they remove, but true yogi, I just laugh about it. Yeah, me too. Me too, Buddha. I'm just having fun. If YouTube ever got to the point of not having fun, you step away from it. But almost any experience can be fun if you want to have fun. Even the ones that suck. Things can suck and be fun at the very same time. Jacob says, I'm doing good, Brother Austin. How about you? Austin drops his link. Thank you, Austin. You guys connected with Austin? He's got a fun channel. Speaking of having fun, you'll definitely have fun with Austin. Ginger says, Skeeter, I am up in the Boundary on the 10th. I'm going walleye fishing. That's not too far. We got just over a week before Ginger heads up there. Hey, Ginger, you gonna do any live stream of you fishing? I think we mentioned this. We need to get, actually Ginger can't live stream until we get him to 50 subs. So, if you guys aren't hooked up with Ginger, Ginger's a good friend of the channel, so hey, show some support. Maybe we can get another outdoor fishing channel. Also says he's doing good, and thanks for asking, Brother Jacob. Boundary Waters. Also says, hey to Skeeter. Hey, Mir, how are you? Goga. We're running into each other today. Says the Buddha. Says hi to Odom. Sorry, I missed you come in, Goga. Every time I take my time, I think I'm caught up. I got all leisurely. Buddha says, yeah, my dog for 17 and a half years passed away in 2018. It still feels fresh sometimes, doesn't it? That's a long life, Buddha. 17 and a half years. I'm glad you had him for so long. Poor man says, Ginger, that sounds fun. It's beautiful up there. Nightmare says, sorry to hear that, Buddha. Thank you, Nightmare. Buddha says, I was 17 when I had my dad's dog. And I'm glad you met them at least some come in. I am very happy to come in, and to Odom's, that's dope. Odom says, my dog Honey passed in 2018. I had her for 15 years, but I had lost my 2 terrible twos in 2021. But I got my 2 terrible twos. Yeah, both my dogs were about 15 when they passed away. It's heartbreaking. Ginny says, oh yes, it's beautiful. It's my favorite place. It's quite nobody up there near Canada. I go when it's chilled because there's no competition. Smart. Odom says, I don't think it's just Pennsylvania. I have some family members touched too, and not by angels. Yeah, no doubt. I think it's an international thing. Poor man says, Yogi, I wonder if you had relatives who fought in the Revolutionary War. I do. I have relatives who fought in the French and Indian War. and Civil War as well. More importantly, I had relatives. Many of my family were Quakers. My grandfather was sort of politely asked to step away from the Quaker faith. He was a Pennsylvania wild boy from way back. My grandfather was born in 1883. My dad was born in 1927. So, yeah, things were wild up there. He was a forest ranger, and he would help local law enforcement during Prohibition locate stills. Yet, rumor has it not every bottle of homemade whiskey made it back to um, the police headquarters. Yoga says, Eric, hey, hello, my demure and mindful friend. Hello, Goga, my effervescent friend. Teresa says, thanks for the high vibe. You're welcome, Teresa. Welcome, my friend. I'm sorry it took me so long to get to you to say hi. I apologize. Goga says, blessings, everyone. Trending says, it's okay, Nightmare. Jesus left her vessel, and it was time for her to return home and be a human. So I understood, but it hurt so bad because she was exactly like a human. When I got angry, she came in and laid. Yeah, dogs can sense that, can't they? Hey, Leo. Leo says, much love, Yogi Sir. Have a great day, brother. Much love and respect. Love and respect to you, my friend. Leo, no doubt will be live later today. Hopefully he'll stop by and he'll let us know. Always welcome to drop a link, Leo. Jacob drops a link for Chris Cable. The one and only Chris Cable. Buddha continues, laid her head on me, and she meditated with me, and she was a remarkable dog. And when I move, I will get another Rottweiler. But for now, Destiny has brought love and laughter in my life, because prior, I cried, but then I had to remember and understand. Nicely said, Buddha. Let's see, Goga is laughing with our friend Odom. Buddha says, Brother Leo, hey. Hey, Jacob, don't forget to drop your link, my friend. Jacob drops a link for Goga. Mi Vida Loca. Hashtag Buddha Love. Mir says, hey, Sir Yogi, and beautiful people there. Mir, my friend, how are you? We get more Buddha love. Silence is my virtue, says, hey, Mir. Mir says, how are you all, my friends? Silence says, indeed, Yogi. Poor man says, hey, Mir, brother. Odin says, not much anymore. My dad was the fisher. When the grandkids want to go, we go. It's a good thing to do with kids. Silence is my virtue, says, oh, that's cool, Odom. Me and my dad go fishing all the time. Used to go fishing all the time. Yeah, my dad taught me how to fish with a bamboo pole when we were living in Florida. Yoga says, Jacob, hey. Ginger says, that's Ely, MN. Ely, Minnesota. Gotcha. Buddha says, I'm hitting Ginger with counts, but no video. 2015, I lost my dad 6/13/13, days before my B-Day. Next week, Tuesday, his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Father Buddha. I know that loss. I know that loss well. I will be coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact, will be 3 years since I lost my father. I was with him the very moment he passed away, holding his hand. I stayed with him all through the night after. Ginger says, if you want to go fishing in Minnesota, go to Ely, Minnesota, and Grand Marais, Minnesota. You would love it. Man, I'd love just being there. Minnesota has a wild feel to it. Buddha says, well, do you have that stuff back from the wars like some people? I don't. Got a few old things. I got a rifle that someone gave my dad. 1898 Springfield 3040 Craig, modified to be a deer rifle. Buddha says, that's old. I got no great-great-grandparents or grandparents. I did know my father's father. I did know my mom's father, who was a great guy. I absolutely loved. Poor man says, that's interesting. I'd like to hear more about the French-Indian War and other relatives who fought sometime. Absolutely. Oddly enough, their relative fought on the French side, was French, going way back. But what I was saying about the my grandfather's grandfather worked for the Underground Railroad, and he was actually imprisoned for helping escape slaves. He was a Quaker, and it was a man, for me, I think about all the things in my family to be proud of. I think about all the things in my family not to be so proud of. But the Quakers and the working for the Underground Railroad, that's the proudest thing for me. Odom says, oh, did it make it back in someone's belly? Yeah, it certainly did make it back in someone's belly. Odom says, oops, sorry, Buddha says, that's me, laughing out loud, I was just switching accounts. Gotcha. Odom says, be 3 years since my dad passed 3 days before Christmas. It's amazing how fresh that can still feel. I think about my dad 3 years ago, and I'm right there. I talk about it often because I talk about caregiving, but I try not to dwell too much on it because I will instantly start tearing up, and I am just thinking about it now. Poor man says, my buddy has a 3040 Craig. I believe it was an old 1800s war rifle. Yeah, Spanish-American War. It's a pretty good size round, and it hurts. Man, it hurts. It hurts to shoot. That's for sure. Ginger says, Google it. It's like Alaska. It gets cold. Speaking, I guess I just found out I do have a moose around my house, but it's not common. Yeah, they can travel a bit. But I know you see them when you head up to the border. Yeah, I will Google that. Jacob drops a link for the theme park. Hey, thank you, Jacob. Hey, just like that, I'm caught up. Which is good, because in just a few minutes, we'll call it an afternoon. Odom says, my first year rifle was my great-grandfather's 3030. Was it a Lever action. Ginger says very common in international falls. They're just so amazing to see. Rhea says hey to Rogers. Ginger says hey. Odom says yes, lever action. I had my dad's old 22. His first rifle. He gave it to me, so it was my first. I left it up in Pennsylvania, so I don't know who has it now. But it was old. Back then, you could get them through the Sears and Roebuck catalog. My dad got it, I believe, for his 11th birthday. Speaking of which, I mentioned old books. The Rainbow Trail, Zane Grey. Got it for Christmas. My dad, 1945. This was his book. That was a year. He was 17. Soon to be in the Navy. Right towards the end of World War II. Dropped out of school in World War II. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. This was my mom's book. You can see it's got writing. Back then you would write what you got for Christmas. My mom got it in 1942. She was born in 31. So she was 11 years old. So I do have some old things, a lot of meaningful, sentimental things to me. Poor man says, ever hunt a muzzleloader, Odom? I haven't hunted muzzleloader, but I have shot muzzleloaders. Speaking of pain, Odom says Winchester, and back when he was younger. Hey, Wendy. Wendy says, hello, Jesse Yogi. I'm going between your live and Stuart's. Well, I appreciate it. I'm going to be saying good afternoon to everyone in just a few minutes, and I will head over and hang out with Stuart too. That's become part of my day. Something I really look forward to, hanging out with Stuart. In the morning, I get to hang out with Bob. Afternoon, I get to hang out with Stuart. Jacob says, thank you for having me on your live stream once again, brother Mr. Yogi. Truly appreciate it. Much love and respect. Big salute. Thank you, Jacob. Thank you just for coming and hanging out. And thank you especially for dropping those links, my friend. Poor man says, I enjoy it. I got a CVA. It's pretty modern. It's good to go 20 yards. Hey, did you make it yourself? I have a cousin who would make his own muzzle loading. Destiny says, hello, Yogi. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, my friend. Welcome, Destiny. Destiny says, hello and blessings to Odom. Makes me feel happy to have Destiny and Odom here together, because Destiny and Odom were some of the first people that just come to hang out with me on my live stream. Poor man says, thanks, Yogi. Have a good day, all. Thank you, poor man. You have a good day, too. Jacob says, hey, Sister Destiny. Ginger says, my wife got a nickel-plated 38 Special and stub-nose 38 Smith & Wesson, plus a 308 Winchester semi-automatic from her grandpa. Nice. So all of that was from your grandfather, her grandfather? Poor man waves at Destiny. Ginger says, poor man, see ya. Hey, Richard. Man, all the old timers are stopping by to say hi. Hey, Richard, congratulations on your recent 100. How does it feel to be fully back into the game? Poor man says, how am I supposed to leave when people start talking guns? Yeah, that makes it difficult, doesn't it? Ginger Rogers says, yes, he was a cop for Burlington Northern Trains. We got a great laughing emoji from Goga. Goga, thanks for hanging out. Another great live stream on Sunday, Goga. I love your Sunday shows because you're always presenting such positive people who are doing such wonderful things. Richard says, thanks. It was a nice area. It feels good. So next year, you should come back up for the Massanutten 100, especially if you like kicking rocks. Richard says, hi, Destiny. Hope you're doing great. Destiny says, blessings to you, my friend Richard runs trails. Ginger says, by the way, that lion guy that came the other day. Yep. Hey, Brian. Brian says, hello, Miss Destiny and Poor Man's Jim. Richard says, yeah, I'd like to do more in the Northeast. It's it's a whole different beast. The trails are pretty rough. You don't quite have the elevation. Goga says, appreciate Eric. I love the Sunday service as well as its legacy project. Hope we will have you co-host one of these fine Sundays. That would be awesome. It makes me a little nervous. I don't know why. Being in the company of the great Goga, and I mean that so sincerely. But I also know how supportive he actually is to all of his guests. So I know I would immediately be at ease. Ginger says he is a racist bad against white. Where have you seen this? I email back and forth with him. It's always been extremely kind to me. Desi says, yes, we always cherish those days, and we always have high respect to you. We remember the days of your live streams beginning. We appreciate you, Yogi, Richard Runs Trails, Odom Homestead. Well, thank you for that, Destiny. You have always been here. You've always been a good friend, and it is much, much appreciated. Squirrel Sniper stops in with a greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, under the same skies. Jacob drops Sniper's link. Goga says, Squirrel, hey. Sniper says, beautiful Goga, hope you're having a wonderful day. You get the feeling that Goga almost always has a wonderful day. Brian says, may everyone have a blessed day. You too, Brian, my friend. Jesse says, hello to Squirrel Sniper. Goga says, he's laughing. Demure versus not Demure. It will be a perfect match. Demure versus effervescent. Effusive. Being with Goga is like being in the presence of love. So how could it go wrong? I see it Sunday after Sunday, how he brings out, creates an offering place, an offering presence to bring out the very best of each person that comes to visit. It's a skill, but more important than a skill, you you got to have that loving presence for that skill to work. If you can have all the skill you want, but if you don't have that loving presence, it doesn't pay off. You put those two together, and magic happens. Brian says, I'm doing okay, Miss Destiny. Thank you for asking. Destiny says, hello to Ginger Rogers. Goga says, yes, squirrel, already night here. It's 10 p.m. I see Goga live all the time. Doesn't matter what hour of the day. Bryce says, how's the weather there, Eric? It is a little rainy. It's been raining for about 9 days in a row. Tomorrow, it's finally not going to be rainy, but the temperatures are going to drop. Goga says, laughing, I love it. Effervescent it is. It's a good word. It's a fitting word. Ginger says, okay, then my live picked up another one. He kicked me out. He called me a cracker. Well, he kicked me out. He didn't even say anything. Where did he do that? He kicked you out here? I'm sorry about that, Ginger. Brian says, have a great day outside here. Good. You got to get in some training? Destiny says, check out Richard Run Strill. Thank you, Destiny. Namer says, it's been raining bad here in the UK too. Yeah, I've heard. Like all over the UK. Ginger says, no. I was scrolling. Destiny drops a link for Odom. Teresa says, valuable insights, loving presence. Thank you so much, Teresa. Ginger says it was not him. Don't worry about it. Gotcha. I'm sorry that you had that experience, though. Nightmare says, yeah, pretty normal here. Summer is my favorite days of the year. Mine too, for sure. Well, late spring, early summer. Ginger says, I will go rounds with him when I see him again. Well, if you want, I can try to mediate. Brian says, yeah, I'm going to do something. We'll see what will be. Went up a little bit today. My work schedule does it to me sometimes. I was up a little later today. Nightmare says, who's beefing? Ginger Rogers running with another member. I won't say who the other friend is until everyone's in the room. You know what I mean? I would like to say, I was thinking about this before because I hear lots of people talk about this is a drama-free channel or a drama-free zone, and it would be nice if we could all make it that way. But this is certainly not drama-free. It is a let's work on our drama together place, meaning that if there's an issue, I don't want to chase anyone off. I want to talk about it, and I want to work through it, and we get to the bottom of it. If there is drama and I react to it, I'm part of the problem. No matter who brings it, I become part of the problem. However, if I can listen to it, if I can be my own loving presence to whatever someone brings, as we were saying with Goga, that's where the magic happens. When you're able to accept and transform, accept and transmute. The word that's been coming up with our friend Squirrel Sniper and myself lately, he's inspired it. Alchemy. Taking the base lead of whatever anyone offers you and transmuting it into the gold of a loving experience. If we say, I'm not going to this channel, it's full of drama, we avoid that opportunity to affect a transformation. We can all be part of it. Gandhi famously said, be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see in the world. Which means you can't avoid anything. And you shouldn't avoid anything. Junior says, I was just wondering if it was him. Gotcha. It doesn't sound like him. Brian says, Eric P. Rose, I saw that. Charlie Hustle. What do you think? Should they allow him into the Hall of Fame? I don't see what he did as being so grievous that it should have overshadowed how great he was. Brian says, remember Pete Rose? I do. He was fearless. I remember watching him slide. And when he slid, it wasn't, the traditional leading with your legs. He dove head first, fearlessly. He had no fear. Brian said, yeah, they should let him in. I think so too. Destiny says, I heard that news yesterday, Brian. It was sad to hear. It was. Same with Chris Christopherson. He was such a multi-talented person. Served in the military. He was a Rhodes Scholar. He wrote some classic songs. He performed with, he was part of that outlaw country scene with Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard. Hey, he wrote Me and Bobby McGee. Bryce says, yeah, just had a couple of tears now thinking about it. Yeah, understandable. William says, back from walking the dogs. Welcome back, William. Junior says, yes, he was a good writer and singer. He was. He was also a great actor as well. Brian says, I remember Johnny Bench too. Yeah, me too. Hey, Night Watcher. Disney says, snow and blessings to William Hart. Nightmare says, Nightmare says, TikTok had me believing that Steve Harvey passed away. Deleted the app. I've never been on TikTok. Brian says, great catcher Johnny was. Anyone remember Rick Dempsey? Played for the Orioles, catcher. William says, say to Destiny. Ginger Rogers says, I actually teared up when Betty White died. Oh, yeah, no doubt. She was just it's the people who were fixtures in our life. I remember when I had the same thing when Bob Hope died. People that you grew up with and you just always thought that they'd be around. Obviously, on one level, you knew they wouldn't. But I don't know. There's that, I don't know. Brian says, yeah, I remember the name Rick Dempsey. I had a baseball card of him. He was an early catcher for the Orioles. One of the first baseball players who actually trained with weights in the off season. It was an early inspiration for me. Nightwatcher says, Nightmare, I mean, if you believed a random TikTok, that's a bad sign. You should stop trusting everyone. Brian says, I'm sure, Eric, you were a Cal Ripken Jr. fan. Surprisingly, I'm on the fence with Cal Ripken. I appreciate his record. I appreciate the streak. But depending on who you ask, people would say, did he do the streak to the did it affect his team? Were there times when maybe he should have sat on the bench because he wasn't at his best, but he played anyway to keep the streak going? I don't know. I don't actually know. One of my favorite baseball players, Reggie Jackson. And then going back in time, I was a huge Mickey Mantle fan. Nightmare says, wasn't a random TikTok, it was a whole hoax. And everyone was posting it. But yeah, should have fact-checked it sooner. It happens. Jesse says, check out Ginger, no content, but you can still be part of her channel. Yeah, we're working on getting Ginger some more subscribers. Actually, Ginger's a he, so that he can hopefully, hasn't committed yet, but I'd love to see him do some fishing stuff. Ryan says he also liked Tony Gwynn, Kirby Puckett. I like Kirby Puckett too, and both some of the best baseball players. Sniper says, unfortunately, we're seeing younger athletes pass away now. Yeah, we are. Man, and speaking of athletes passing away, it's almost a weekly occurrence that we have a professional wrestler pass away. Ginger says, what about Kirby Puckett? I'm just talking about older ball players that we remember, that we liked. Austin says, hi to Squirrel and to Nightmare. Nightmare says, hi back. Brian says, yeah, you do have a good point there about Ripken. No, I could be wrong about Ripken. I just, in a team sport, you got to wonder. Now what you says, Ginger, what do you think of Kick a Gibber Day? I don't know what that is. Not sure I want to know what that is. Desi says, hello to Austin. Ginger says, if I can't, I will load pics. Nice. So we got until the 10th to see if we can get Ginger Rogers 50 subs. Austin says hi. Nightmare says most likely steroids. Yeah, steroids, painkillers, alcohol abuse, and just a lot of wear and tear on the body. Some of those guys do that 350, 355 days a year. Especially those who aren't quite famous enough to be able to take a day off. Oh man, Catfish Hunter. I love Catfish Hunter. I know there's old ball players because I have so many baseball cards. Also cards from the 60s that were my dad's. Man, my brother has been collecting baseball cards since he was a kid. Ginger says, Night Watcher, I don't know either. Brian subbed to Ginger. Thanks, Brian. Brian says hello to Austin. Hey, I was thinking of Tug McGraw. Just this morning, actually. Night Watcher says, Kick a Ginger Day is a meme from South Park. It made people actually kick gingers. I don't think our friend Ginger would take too kindly to that. Dusty says, Hogs have an awesome day and keep inspiring. Blessings, love to you all. Chat, peace out, and enjoy your day, all. Thank you, Dusty, my friend. We're gonna call it a day too. Just a minute. Wife says, I wonder how many received the C19 jab. I have. Ginger says, I am a daywalker. Brian says, Bob Gibson was one of my favorite pitchers. And Stan the Man Musial. Definitely Stan the Man. I was a Nolan Ryan fan. And of course, Baltimore. Jim Palmer. Another one of my all-time favorite, being from Pittsburgh, Roberto Clemente. Destiny says, thanks, Brian, for coming a part of Ginger's family and channel. Thank you for that, Destiny. Nightmare says, I'm watching Conor McGregor's live stream yesterday, and it was easy to see. He's gotten huge on a lot of drugs, and it's unnatural looking huge. Very, very sad to see, since he was so motivated and different before the money and fame. I agree. Brian says he had heard of Tug McGraw. His son, what's his son's name? His son's a country singer. Yep, he was a pitcher. Brian says, you're welcome, Miss Destiny. Thank you for being here and have a great day. Night Watcher says, Nightmare, how old are you? If you're comfortable with saying. All right, guys, in just a minute, we're going to say good afternoon. I'll be back later in about 2.5 hours. Mira says, hey to Brian. Ginger says, I gave up on pro sports. It's too much money in politics. I would agree. It's very, very little that I watch. Brian says, yeah, I remember Nolan Ryan was one of the best. Yeah, he was a 100-mile pitcher. It's a big arm. For a long time, too. Nightmares 24. Night Watcher says, another great live. Thank you, Night Watcher. Chris says, guys, I'm live now. Support also. Roller Fingers, that I'm not familiar with him. So Yogi the Great. Hey, thank you, Mir. So, guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Mir's live. If you guys don't mind, stop by, say hi, hang out, hit the like button, share his channel, do everything we can to help our friends, including you. Guys, if you got a channel, if you're trying to grow your channel, if you got a project that you're working on unrelated to YouTube, share it. Let us know. I'll be there for you 100%. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Eric Point says, Nightmare says by Eric. Eric Point says Ozzy Osbourne sniffs ants. Rumor has it he does sniff ants. Ginger says 100 miles an hour arm. That's a lot of tugging for him. It is. It's a lot of tugging for him. Thank you for that, Ginger. Now Watcher says, I thought you were an old person, like 80% of the chat. I'm the only old person here. Brian says, bye everyone. Now check out Mir. We got a heart from Goga. Hey Goga, whenever you want to do that, I'd love to be on. Absolutely. A little nervous, but I'd love to be on. Let's see. Teresa says, oh my God, I'm haunted. Did you say Stan the Man? We did. Unrelated, his son is my son. Nathan was a boy, now he's a man like Stan. His son is my son. Nathan was a boy, now he's a man like Stan. So I need to understand that. Stop in again and let me know. Nightmares laughing, Night Watcher, no, and it's okay to be old. Thank you for that. As an old person, I appreciate the support. Teresa says bye. Take care, my friend. Brian says rest in peace, Pete Rose. Absolutely, absolutely. And I hope now afterwards people can review his career and get him into the Hall of Fame. His playing. It's about his playing. Goga says, awesome. I'll let you know. Let me speak to my people. Have your people speak to my people. And since you guys are my people, we're all set. Thank you, Goga. It's much appreciated. I always appreciate you. Nightwatcher says, yeah, sound convinced. Nightwatcher is an ageist. Nightwatcher says, see ya, Egg Yog. See ya, my friend. Goga's laughing with us, guys. As is Nightmare. Thanks, guys. I'm going to see everyone later.